and welcome to Bitches of Horror.
And in today's episode, we're going to talk about the documentary Terror in Disguise.
Yes. And it's from 2019, directed and written by Seth Breedlove, and also co-written by Mark Matzke from the United States. And I want to give a huge shout out to artsploitation for the opportunity to watch this film.
Yes, and it's a documentary about different kind of sightings of bird-like creatures that people have seen throughout the history, such as thunderbirds, prehistoric birds, piazza bird, mothman.
Yeah, and I was totally unaware that this was actually like a thing. I mean, mothman I've heard of before, but like the piazza bird and the prehistoric birds and, all these types of things. I mean, thunderbird, only like the, Native American legend, but not that people were actually having these sightings today.
I've only heard of sightings of the Mothman and other sightings of which could possibly be Mothman, but nothing more than that.
Yeah.
So I was very intrigued to see which other sightings and creatures they had in store for us.
Yeah, and this was all in a span. I think it was Illinois, where they were having all of these sightings and a lot. And it was interesting because it was a documentary of something I've never even thought of, and it's fun to see stuff like that. I love documentaries.
Me too.
I love it.
Especially surrounding this subject.
Yeah, mystic, sort of mystery sort of thing.
Yeah, because I recently watched a lot of videos about the Mothman and different kind of bird-like creatures like the blackbird of Chernobyl and stuff like that. But it was very interesting. It was such a coincidence. I'm like, oh, yeah.
It's meant to be.
It was.
Yeah.
I was expecting something else when I...
Yeah, I mean, the cover is very misleading. If you just look at the cover, you'd think it'd be like a sort of really bad bird movie with terrible CGI. But that's not the case. I mean, it does have the CGI in it, but it's more to retell the stories that are people, or the encounters that people are talking about.
Yeah. And it's quite short, actually.
It's like an hour-ish.
Yeah, an hour and maybe 5 or 7 minutes, something like that. And it never gets boring. I actually wish it was longer. That's my only complaint, I think.
I think this isn't a complaint on the actual film, but just discussing what they're talking about. I think one of my biggest things was that there was so little evidence. So because of that, for me, it was mostly just people talking about their experiences, which can be interesting, of course. Some of the stories were very interesting, but it just, there was not really any background to these things actually happening. And, some of these encounters or alien encounters and stuff, there's actual pictures and stuff. Even if they're fake, it's still pictures and things. But in this, there was nothing. I think maybe one picture in the entire thing, and that they found out that it was fake or something. And because of that, my interest, it's interesting that all these people are seeing it, but that it kind of gives me that sort of, group effect of people wanting to be like each other thing. So that kind of made me lose a little bit of interest, because I felt like I needed more background for it to actually,
But yeah, that's why I wanted it to be longer, to have more stuff surrounding all these stories and something to possibly back them up or whatever. But still, I find it very interesting because I love these sorts of things. And I watch videos all the time about people talking about what they have seen without evidence. But it's still you're okay, so maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, they were also talking about, because there wasn't only people talking about the encounters, also people sort of investigating and, documenting all this stuff. And they were talking about how things could be an omen, or people, just, mentally aren't at a place where they should be, and this is why they're seeing all these things. And they also brought in the traditional Indian folklore, which I thought was really interesting about the Piasa bird. I don't know. I say that, but at the same time, it's kind of like sleep paralysis, where there's no evidence that sleep paralysis is a thing. But if everyone who has sleep paralysis, not everyone has the same experience, but a lot of people have a similar experience. Yeah. It's either a hag, or it's either a shadow person, or it's, something, one of those, like, I think there's like 3 that are like very common. And you can't really back that up, but
it's so hard when you're paralyzed and you're like,
yeah, I know, but
you can't
but I mean, like,
there's no evidence,
there's no evidence for that. I mean, I've suffered from sleep paralysis myself, so I know it's real. The same way that they've encountered these species, and they know it's real. Yeah.
But that's the thing. I don't think you will ever like fully believe something until you
experience it yourself.
For yourself. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's hard because you don't know these people. Yeah. These people could be like, everyday, just one of us, and then they're like, oh shit, I would have never thought this, this is crazy, and then you trust them because you know them. Or they could just be batshit insane and just be like, oh yeah, birds, I just want to have attention, sort of thing. Yeah. But yeah, definitely an interesting watch. CGI birds and stuff. I think that was probably pretty good that they did put in that to get more effect.
Yeah.
And
it would not have had the same effect if they were just telling their stories without like some kind of visuals to go along with it.
Yeah.
So that was very good.
Yes. Yeah. Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're real. I'd love, there's this, just like a prehistoric bird just hiding
somewhere.
But it's so weird, it's kind of like a boar, there's this huge fucking boar and no one sees it. So if there are these like birds with 9-11 feet wingspan, where are they? Well, things in the sea, I understand, because the sea is full of, I don't even want to know.
It's so deep.
Yeah, and we haven't even discovered
But the sky.
Yeah, and even if they're living in caves, they'd still. How are they going to sit in a tree? They're like huge.
A tree will just.
Yeah, maybe a redwood or something. I don't know, but just some things just don't add up.
But it makes you wonder.
But maybe they're invisible. Who knows?
Maybe they have superpowers.
Oh, yeah. Fucking birds, man.
Yeah. They have pretty big poops, though. I think
it's like a bomb on the house.
Yeah.
Just tears down. It's like a fucking missile.
Oh, it's like the Family Guy episode, or was it that giant bird that shit on Peter's car?
Maybe I don't
remember. But yeah,
that's really weird because I just started watching Family Guy again that you mentioned that.
Birds.
Yeah. Anyways, Terror in the Skies, interesting documentary that you should definitely check out. Fun to see a documentary about something that I know, in any ways, has not been told before. Very few documentaries about it, anyways. So definitely check it out. Artsploitation has this shit, man. They do a lot of good shit.
They do.
So don't forget to check them out and give them your support.
Yes. And give us your support by liking our stuff on Instagram, Facebook, and subscribing to our YouTube channel.
Yes. And now, our verdicts.
Yes, of course. I will give it a 7 out of 10.
Me too, 7 out of 10.
Oh, cool.
Fuck, man, we've had like the same score for ages now. We need to find something that...
We need to find something that you hate.
Yeah.
And that I love. Yeah.
Or the other way around.
No.
That I love and you hate.
I don't think that exists.
Grotesque.
But maybe we'll talk about that one. Maybe.
I love grotesque. It's so good. Anyways, thank you for watching. And stay horrific.
Bye.
Bye.